said,
Go on, what?
Genesis 17:7 says, I will establish my covenant as an everlasting covenant between me and you and your descendant
Okay.
after the generation to come.
Right.
To be your God and the God of your descendant. Ismail is your descendant.
Okay.
So our God is the same like your God.
Wait,
That's from the Old Testament.
when you say our God, what do you mean? What do you mean by that?
He said to be your God and the God of your descendant after you. Another one. I will give, he's talking to Abraham, I will give an everlasting position to you and your descendant after you, and I will be their God. And it's united.
What, to Ishmael?
He said, I will be their God.
To Ishmael.
To your descendant. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
So when he said,
Well, what I'm saying is that the promised covenant that God had was with Isaac, not Ishmael. Right?
let's say yes. As I said, even though we have a great nation, I think what's happened, the mistake is already come from Sarah, I think.
Okay.
Because Sarah, she allowed her husband Abraham to go
With
and
Hagar.
sleep with Hagar. This is where the problem comes. That's why I think go sleep with this lady, even though this is wrong, so you can have a child. And now, when God appeared to Abraham and he loved him, so he had to do something to Ismail because he's your son. He's your son. The reason God, I think, said, I'm gonna make a great nation of Ishmael, and my covenant is with Isaac. The only reason I can see is because Isaac is his begotten son, is his son from his wife.
Well, ultimately, it's because Yahweh, because God simply said through him, he is the one whom my promise is with.
Yeah, but what do you think why he chose Isaac than
Okay.
Ismail? What do you think?
I don't know. Yeah.
I think it's because Sarah is his wife, so they have a son here, so this is like stronger.
Isaac means to laugh, or the one who laughs.
It's hard.
Isaac, yeah. So, and it comes from when the angels came down and they said to Sarah, "You will bear a child." She started to laugh because she was like, "No, I'm too old. I'm too old. I can't have a child." So when they had Isaac, they called him Isaac.
Yeah, but who God told Abraham to name Isaac? Yeah, tell him you're gonna have a boy and you're gonna call him Isaac. Is that correct? In Old Testament, I have read it.
I don't know if
So
God
basically
says.
God, yes, he did.
Did he say? Okay.
He nominated Abraham.
You should be called it. Okay.
And the same to Ishmael.
And the same to Ishmael. Okay.
So there's a reason. God wanted to call this man Ishmael. No longer his name is now something. His name will be Ishmael. And also God told Abraham, no more your name is Abraham, your name is Abraham.
Yeah.
So
Same.
these three people, God interfered and wanted to change their name for a reason.
Have you read Genesis 18 yet?
What is it?
So in Genesis 18, it talks about three angels that come down to visit Abraham and Sarah. And of these three angels, it is implied that one of them is the Lord. You know about that?
The Lord himself.
I'll show you.
Or the Holy Spirit.
No, the Lord, Yahweh. Or the title. Hang on, sorry. Genesis.
تعال هنا تعال. معي سؤال مش عايز اجاوب عليه.
Abraham near the great tree where he entered up and saw three men standing nearby, right? And when he saw them, he went to the entrance of the tent to meet down about the ground. He said, "If you do find out my Lord, or Isaac, Lord, do not pass your servant by. Let a water be brought, and you may wash your feet. Let me get something for you to eat, so that when you may go on your way, now that we have come to your servant." Very well then, sir. Do as you say. But he said quick. He said, "Get the seeds of the finest flour and eat it and some bread." He went to the herd with a choice calf and gave it to the servant to prepare it. He then brought some curd and milk, and the calf had been prepared, and he set these before them. When they ate, he stood near under a tree. He said, "Your wife Sarah." Then in the tent he said, "This is one of them. I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah your wife will have a son."
Yeah.
Now Sarah was listening at the entrance of the tent, which was behind him. Abraham and Sarah were already very old, and Sarah was past the age of childbearing. So Sarah laughed to herself, and she thought, "After I am worn out and my Lord is old, will I now have this pleasure?" Then the Lord said to Abraham, why did Sarah laugh and say, will I really have a child now that I'm old? So the context has switched from the three angels who were telling her this to the Lord now says this to her. And
So that's the one. The Lord
it carries on. It gets more. Is anything to offer the Lord? I will return to you at the noted time next year, and Sarah will have a son. So wait. Then the Lord said, why did Sarah laugh and say, will I really have a child now that I'm old? Is there anything to offer the Lord? I will return to you at the noted time next year, and Sarah will have a son. But I thought it was the angel that will return the next year. So you see when it says here.
So he was talking with the angel first, and then the Lord.
And the angel said, I will return to you next year, and you will have a son.
Yes.
So the angel will. But then it switches to. Then the Lord, and it's in capital, so that's Yahweh, it's a tetragrammaton, said to Abraham, why did Sarah laugh and say, will I really have a child now I'm that old? Is there anything to offer the Lord? I will return to you at the anointed time next year, and Sarah will have a son. So you can already see it's switching between one of these people and the Lord, which is it. But in case, keep reading. Sarah was afraid, so she lied and said, I did not laugh. But he said, yes, you did laugh. When the men got up, so now it's coming about the men. When the men got up to leave, they looked down towards Sodom, and Abraham walked along with them to see them on their way. Then the Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do? Abraham will surely become a great and powerful nation, and all nations on earth will be blessed through him.
Do you know what does this mean? Will we have a great nation, all powerful nation, all nation on earth will be blessed through him. That's mean for me, I see it, any Christian man who living in China, he will be blessed through him.
So Isaac.
Any Muslim, any
Abraham. Through Abraham.
But this is the son he's going to have.
Through him.
But this is the son he's going to have, right?
Through him.
Shall I hide from him? I want to do. Abraham will surely.
Did they mention the son?
And all nations will. I just said
All
for
nation,
Abraham. Just say for Abraham.
Surely become a great
Abraham
and
will
powerful
surely
nation,
become
and
all nation on earth will be blessed through him. How do you
through
translate
him,
it?
through him, him, back to refer to who?
Ibrahim.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But through whom? Well, it's Abraham and through Isaac, his son. But
One second. Did he
All
mention
nation
Ishaq
will be blessed
Did
through
he
him.
mention Ishaq here?
Not here, no.
One second.
Not
Did
yet.
he call this a son? Is that
Well-
he gonna go next year? Ishaq,
Right.
did he give him a name?
Not yet. Ishaq wasn't even born.
It wasn't even born
so
yet.
is it blessed through him, through Ibrahim?
Right. So through Abraham, there will be.
From Ishaq, it's
Yeah,
not your
Abraham's
business.
descendants.
It's Allah's business.
Is it Abraham's descendants?
Okay.
Okay. You know it's
have to
Abraham's
read and
descendants.
use the logic, please.
What? I don't understand. Okay, carry on.
Right. For I have chosen him so that he will direct his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing what is right and just, so that the Lord will bring about for Abraham what he has promised him.
yes.
Okay. Then the Lord said, the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is so great and their sin is so grievous. So I will go down. So the Lord is going to go down and see if what they have done is as bad as the outcry that has reached me. If not, I will know. The men turned away and went towards Sodom. So in the previous bit, the Lord said, I'm going to go, and now we moved on to the men. They're going to go.
Wait.
Okay.
Let me have a picture so I can read it, because
yeah.
I have read it just 2 days ago and I didn't notice.
That's fine. I can send you some
So
material
that
about
means
this.
the Lord, he's come down.
I'll show you. Just keep watching.
Yeah.
The men turned away and went towards Sodom. But Abraham remained standing before the Lord. Okay?
Wait, Ibrahim.
So- Yep, the men turned away, so the men that were there, they have now gone, and now he is standing before the Lord. Then Abraham approached him and said, will you sweep away the righteous for the wicked? What if there are 50 righteous people in the city? Will you really sweep it and spare this place for the sake of the 50 righteous people in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing, to kill the righteous and the wicked, treating the righteous and the wicked alike. For far be it from you. Will the judge of the earth not do right? The Lord said, if I find 50 righteous people, and he goes on and goes on.
I don't know, look.
We know till 5
that's fine.
I think
What's good?
the meaning is there's no one at all still believes they do something.
For the sake of them, and said, well, don't be angry at the the Lord had finished speaking with them. Right, now when the Lord had finished speaking with Abraham, he left, and Abraham returned home. Okay, now we go to the next passage, 19. The two angels arrived at Sodom in the morning.
Why you read this?
Wait, but it wasn't two, it should be three.
I'm gonna check it.
Two,
let you know.
yeah. Because they said there were three angels,
And now it's 2.
and now it's two that have arrived. So who was there speaking with Abraham? Because it says the Lord was speaking with Abraham. So it's interesting, yeah? I would encourage you to look into this. But basically what many Christians will say was that one of the persons there was the Lord.
But it could be also a mistake. What do you think?
It could also be,
A mistake or
I
not?
don't think it's a mistake, because the text is quite concrete about it. We'll go into this.
All the text in Old Testament.
This particular part, this particular point.
Because I have a question for you on this.
I can send you some videos and it'll go into detail and it'll explain this to you. No. I'm wondering if there's any.
I will
This is
check
Genesis
it.
19.
I have a question. I will check it. What you say.
Sure.
You know when Ibrahim he wanted to take
Yeah.
his son to slaughter him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you go back to this one?
Do you know that before he did that, he promised through Abraham, he promised through that his descendants would continue. Before this.
Yeah.
So in other words, what Abraham is being asked to do is to believe that he has to give up his son, but he was promised his son and he would have descendants through his son beforehand. So in other words, God has told him, you need to go up to the mountain and you need to give up a sacrifice, but I promise you that you will have descendants through your son. So it's interesting, right?
Interesting.
So Abraham is like, wait, you told me two things here. You said there's going to be descendants through my son, but you also are telling me to go up this mountain. And of course, it plays out, and it doesn't tell him what to. But yeah,
The Muslim majority they believe and they think
it's
that
Isaac.
it's Ishmael.
Ishmael, yeah. Do you know?
I have two questions from the Old Testament.
Okay.
Go to the one when they wanted to slaughter Isaac. Can you go to that one? Carry on. I think it's just after this one. Go all the way.
John, then I say this is the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. What do you know where?
It's called.
I can find it if you want me to find it.
Find it, yeah. Need it.
Abraham sacrifice.
Two strong questions. First of all, the Lord told Abraham, take your only son. Why would he say your only son? And in that time, maybe Isaac wasn't even born, so it could be Ismail. Or he said, take only your son.
Say again.
God, the Lord told him, take only your son. Your only son.
Right.
It's like you have only one son here.
Right.
Not two. He said it 3 times. And the second question, which is very important, after Abraham, he passed the exam with the Lord when he told him that I am. Abraham, he went back to Beersheba. He said, now Abraham and his son went back to Beersheba. And everyone knows Beersheba is where Ismail lived.
You're reading
not
this.
Isaac.
This is it.
And there the Lord said, take your only son. Take your son, your only son. Okay, that's the first question. Maybe the next one. No, this is the one. Call him from the heaven, Abraham, here I am. He replied, do not lay hand on the boy. He said, don't do anything to him. Now he passed the exam here. Abraham look and there and take the sacrifice, offering spirit. I swear by myself, declare the Lord, that because you have done this, I have not withheld your son, your only son again. He said it 3 times. Why is he your only son? And God knows that Abraham had got 2 sons. I wish you bless you and make your descendant and descendant will be in position.
Tolerance for nationalism.
Listen, that's the one. Then Abraham returned to his servant, and they set off together for Beersheba.
Yes.
Ishmael, everyone knows he lived in Beersheba. So basically, the Muslims say that Abraham had his son Ishmael, and they went back to Beersheba. Can you give me an answer?
So are you saying that this is suggestive that the person they sacrificed was Ishmael, not Isaac?
I'm sure if Abraham had his own son, his son Isaac, why would he go to Beersheba? Isaac doesn't live in Beersheba. That's my question. Why did they say here he went back to Beersheba?
But what's the problem with being in Beersheba though?
Because one page before, Sarah told him, exactly before, not after, told Abraham, take this son away, Ishmael, because I don't want him to be inherited with my son. So Abraham took his son Ishmael, and he went to Beersheba. He moved into Beersheba.
But again, the text is quite clear that it's about Isaac, right? He took with him 2 servants and his son Isaac. Abraham got up and loaded his donkey. He took with him 2 servants and Isaac.
Why did you go to Beersheba? Beersheba is where Ishmael lived. Take a picture of it and check it later.
Okay, sure.
Because definitely, I know that Ishmael, he was the one who lived in Beersheba. After Sarah kicked him out.
There are narrations in early Islam that question whether or not it was Ishmael or Isaac.
In
you know that? Yeah,
Say
well,
again.
I don't know if it's in the Quran, but in the early Muslim community,
Yeah.
there were questions over it was Ishmael or Isaac.
Yes. Until now, we have a question because in the Quran, it's not stating clearly which son is it. In the Quran,
Yeah.
it's not mentioned if whether Isaac or Ismail. But here in the Bible, we can see clearly that it's Isaac.
Yeah.
But when God say, take your only son, that's the first question. The second question, when they finished the exam, he went to Beersheba.
Well, they would have been living together, right? Presumably.
Who? I'll
Isaac,
tell you.
Ishmael.
When Sarah told him,
yeah.
Ibrahim, take this son away.
Can I have are you gonna go?